Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed.
Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going. Hello, hello, hello.
Yay! I'm so glad you guys are here.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy
Not
Tuesday.
exactly Newsday.
Your dose of not exactly news coming at you live / pre-recorded because that's what a podcast is.
Yeah.
My brain is tired, apparently, y'all. Tired brain.
It's because you're a mom who's also a teacher.
Yeah, and who pretends to adult on a regular basis.
We know lots of things.
There's more we don't know.
Our approach to learning is all about fun and practicality, so come and laugh and learn with us.
Yay!
All right, so today I have with me Clara Peller. Because she's always asking, where's the beef? I had to Google that lady's name. I didn't know it. But that commercial came out. That commercial came out in 1984, and I think you did too.
Okay. And I think you did too. Cheese and rice. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. I'm sure my mom would definitely tell you that I came out in 1984. Good Lord. Oh my goodness. And also, I just am confused when I've ever asked, where's the beef?
Well, your version of it is, let's be clear.
Oh, that is true. I do say that all the time. Yeah. Yeah. And I stole that. That's not even mine. That's from my friend Amanda, who likes bees. That's hers. And I picked that up from her, and I've never let it go. It's all her. Thanks, Amanda. You gave me my catchphrase, which is not where's the beef.
Clara Peller.
Oh man. Oh god. All right. Well, mine is nice, I think, ish.
Oh.
Mine is the genius blonde who can flip a switch from sweet to terrifying in a heartbeat. It's Bernadette Rostenkowski from The Big Bang Theory. I love Bernadette.
That is a good one.
I know. And I think it works for you because all of a sudden she sounds so sweet, and then all of a sudden she's terrifying. I love Bernadette.
I have been thinking about Big Bang since last week when you were talking about Sheldon saying football is ubiquitous in Texas.
Yeah.
On Designing Women, they say football in the North is a tradition. Football in the South is a religion.
Oh, that's so true. We're going to continue our football talk today, so I feel like that's super appropriate. Absolutely. Yeah. Great show. Great show. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of great shows, we have to make corrections on our previous show. And I'm going to start.
No, I'm starting.
Oh.
We did not acknowledge that Bob Saget died.
We didn't.
We need to take a minute for that.
Oh.
I can't believe that we went the whole episode without talking about it.
We talked about Betty White.
We did.
But we didn't talk about Bob Saget.
He died on my birthday, and it was really, really awful.
Sorry.
My husband and I are texting back and forth, and he just texts me, Bob Saget died. That's it. Like, we're having a whole different conversation. And
he interrupted it with
that. And you guys know that I grew up with this family. Yeah. And my dad is great. Don't get me wrong. I don't need a replacement dad. The one I have is fantastic. But Bob Saget was my TV dad.
Yeah, he was everybody's TV dad. I really appreciated him for America's Funniest Home Videos. I loved that show. It was my favorite thing.
America, this is you.
I distinctly recall seeing him on Entourage and being very taken aback because he was not America's dad in
Oh,
Entourage.
No.
He was a very different person in Entourage. And it was disturbing and also it's like when you were a kid and you would see your teacher outside of the classroom. You saw her at the grocery store and
You're
you're
like,
like,
wait a
hey,
minute.
what are you doing here?
You can't be here.
No, I go here. You can't. And that's kind of how it felt. But then it just made me love him even more. And it's so sad. And,
It's awful. And he was only 65 and just, So I don't know if that's much correction as much as I want to correct my own behavior that we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, that it was a very sad thing. And, we will miss what he could have done. And, rest in peace, Bob. We love you.
Yeah.
I will make a correction real quick. Last week, I talked about football vocabulary. I know some of the words that I gave you guys off the top of my head. I did not know probably 60% or more that I could give you a definition and feel confident in what I was saying. And I took my definitions from a man named James Alder, and I found him on, it was liveabout.com. And he has a football glossary on there, like a football 101. It was all super helpful. And I did put it in the show notes though. So it's there. I did cite him there, but thank you to James Alder for all of the information that you gave us.
Yes.
It was very
And then
helpful.
I will also have a little correction corner for everything I'm about to say that's going to be wrong. So let this just be like a general disclaimer that I'm not some football expert. And you've all seen Remember the Titans and the daughter there whose dad is a coach and she knows everything about the game and she just loves it so much. I'm not her.
You're not Hayden Panettiere?
No.
Oh.
I do love football.
Yes.
And I love the culture of football. But I am not the person who can give you like a rundown of what's happening on the film.
No.
So this is the guide to football from someone who needs a guide to football.
I like it. A mile wide and an inch deep in terms of diving into content here, because
this is the more that we don't know side. All right, so circle time.
Okay.
It's time to sit on the carpet. Crisscross applesauce. You got anything you want to share?
Yeah, I got to give a couple of shout outs to a couple of podcasts that love us. And one of them is Grading the Nerd. It's just a fun listen and it's all the nerdy topics.
Love it.
Yeah, really good. And the other one.
Have they discussed Graham's number?
They're not that nerdy.
Okay.
It's like Marvel topics and stuff. It's not Graham's number you big dork.
Oh my gosh, that is the best. I wish we had written that because it's comedic gold. That's so good. No,
that was wit. That's just me flying by the seat of my pants.
Plan that.
No, that was not planned.
Funny.
I told you I'm funny sometimes, but it's only spontaneously. If I try to write jokes, it's over. And the other one is a podcast that's called Bottled Up B-Word Ladies. We don't swear on this podcast out of respect for people's occupations and because there's a chance that you are listening to this in your car with children behind you. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to say benches, bottled up benches, but that's not what they are called.
Lady dogs.
Right. There it is. But they really like us and we also really like them. And so shout outs to them. And if you are looking for a new indie podcast, either Grading the Nerd or Bottled Up Benches will be a great indie podcast listen.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this just in.
Uh-oh.
My husband just texted me the link to an article about a rare blanket octopus that was spotted on the Great Barrier Reef.
Yes.
So just in
Jenny's
case,
losing it.
in case you were concerned about what level of nerd I am, not only have I researched Graham's number enough to ask, is the podcast covering it? My husband knows that I would click on this link to learn about this octopus that they just spotted on the Great Barrier Reef.
Here's the thing. I like that kind of stuff. I get those articles sent to me about rare fossil finds from my mother-in-law, and she sends them to me to send to Sam or like talk to Sam about it. Ooh, it's a cool octopus. She's showing me a video. Whoa, it looks like the fish in Pinocchio, Cleo, how graceful she is. That's what it
I
looks
was
like.
thinking it looks like the fish from Fantasia, which
Oh,
are
yeah,
like the same fish.
they're the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
That's actually what popped into my head first, but then I knew I could describe Cleo better than I could describe the Fantasia fish. But my mother-in-law sends me articles about fossils for me to share with Sam, and I read them and then forget to share them with him. So, oops. Sorry.
I was nerding out because the Olympics are coming, and you know, I've mentioned it before, and I know that I am in no way as much of a fan of Olympics as you are, but I, you know, since this whole episode is going to be focused on football, I wanted to look and see what other Olympic sports I could get excited about for the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
And I read about skeleton. How much do you know about skeleton?
Correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like luge, right? But it's
Without
not luge. Without the luge. It's like them on a sled. It looks like basically they're on like an ice skate. But they have it's two blades. This is the one that you could not pay me enough to do this. You have to be hardcore thrill seeker to do skeleton. I'm noping myself right out of there.
This is the sport for adrenaline junkies who can't get excited about X Games.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's insane. They're going 90 miles per hour on an ice skate, like a skateboard ice skate, belly down, head first.
Oh, what's the one where they're...
Oh, that's bobsled, the one that Cool Runnings was about.
I got that one. Cool Runnings is a part of my childhood.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the ride. Get on up. It's bobsled time.
Oh, Dougie Doug. Anyway, there's... I love that movie so much. And John Candy. Fun fact about John Candy in Home Alone, he filmed that whole thing in 24 hours because he had to be to another movie.
And he was like, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah. He just like, and most of it was improvised.
Oh,
because, yeah. She's good enough. She doesn't need script, but like he also clearly doesn't need it. Anyway, beside the point, skeleton is terrifying. No, it's fine. Skeleton looks terrifying. Tell me, like, what did you learn about this? Because to me, all it is this is a big nope for me.
Yeah, absolutely not. No. No. And not even like the younger me without children, like, oh yeah, I could do it. No.
Right.
No. I think it's a sport for organ donors.
Ah, that would make sense. I have anxiety. I'm shaking. I can't handle it. Whew. Oh, all right. I don't really have a sports thing. I will say in terms of Olympic stuff, I love watching half pipe and all that kind of stuff, but I'm stoked that Shaun White is saying he's going to do stuff for the Olympics this year. Right? So like that is very cool. Yeah. I feel like that's so basic, but I don't care. I'm going to go sports light. We are really heavily focused on football for our topic today. So I don't really want to.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's a big game coming up.
Yeah, there is. It's called the Super Bowl.
Yes.
To steal Jenny's words. The Super Bowl.
I took that from Uncle Dan.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I know that it's not like exclusively yours. I'm just saying that's what you called it. So that's what I'm calling it. Yeah. What about gems? You have any gems this week?
This weekend I made muffins. And
what kind? Wait, stop. What kind?
I made blueberry and banana.
Oh,
two separate kinds, not one that's mixed. I made blueberry muffins and banana muffins.
Got it.
And don't think I'm fancy. It's the Martha White muffin mix that's 99 cents, and all you do is add half a cup of milk.
Oh, still.
Yeah. But I made muffins. Anyhow, Kid had 2. And then he comes back into the living room and he has 3 more. And I said, why do you have 3 muffins? He says, because I love them. I didn't argue. I said, fine. All right.
Yeah.
Because you love them. That's
because
fine.
you love them. Oh, is he just like cradling them like a baby?
Yes, he was holding them like a baby. And I just thought 5 muffins is too much for a toddler to eat. But when he told me he loves them, I was like, all right.
That means he loves your cooking.
I assembled those muffins. Let's be real.
Listen, that's an accomplishment. All right. Assembling the muffins. Somewhere, someone's like, yeah, that's a great band name. Assemble the Muffins. Anyway, there's this is going to go off the rails. Ready for this?
Yes.
We know that my son loves Marvel movies. We've had this discussion. We do Marvel movies every Friday at our house. And recently, one of the ones that we watched featured the Hulk. And fairly like later down the line, like a few weeks after that, my son just kind of goes, Mom, I've been thinking. Okay, what are you thinking about, pal? Why does the Hulk have green nipples? I have pink nipples. I gotta say, I don't know what color Bruce Banner's nipples are, but you're right that the Hulk has green nipples, and that's probably because of that potion that he drank that turns his whole body green. Like his hair turns green and his lips turn green. And so I would imagine that that's why he has green nipples. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then just moved on.
Right.
I what do you even do? I just tried to be as matter of fact as possible. I don't need to talk about nipples, especially not like regularly, but I knew that if I didn't answer it, it was going to become a regular thing. So I figured I better just be as straightforward as possible with those sorts of topics.
There are people out there who do have to talk about nipples regularly. Like if you're a lactation consultant, that's probably something that you say 4 or 5 times a day.
Oh, and it's probably like nothing, and it's not even a big deal. Like who cares? It's a nipple, like whatever. But it was just that I knew if I didn't answer this question point blank, I was going to be having to beat around the bush with it and it wouldn't go away. So I just figured I'd better just address his green nipples. And thank you for the share on the color of your own nipples, child. However, then I'm like, Mark Ruffalo. Nope, that's not part of the question. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Just talking about the Hulk. So there you go. That was my awkward gem this week. I was like, what is this kid thinking about?
What are you thinking about? What are you obsessed with?
I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you do. And I know this too, and it's old news and whatever, but I just finally started doing it. So I started a new job fairly recently, and I'm using my own computer. I created a new profile for myself because the company uses Google Suite, which is great, right? But I didn't want to be logged into their stuff on my personal stuff and then accidentally need to request access and blah, blah, blah. So I created a new profile. So now like I have 2 separate profiles when I use Google Chrome.
Yes.
Total game changer. I'm about to start doing it for anything podcast related too. Like I also use a Chrome extension called Tab Expert. I highly recommend because it will save your session as a bunch of tabs. So like if you have, 30 tabs open, you don't want to lose them, but you can close the window and then Tab Expert will reopen it. So Tab Expert, and it's TAB and then a big X and then PERT. Tab Expert.
PERT.
Yeah, Tab Expert. I would highly recommend. It's been very helpful.
I'm already in love.
Yeah, it's so helpful. I mean, I have one for I have a window for a profile for work and then a profile for home. And then I have like a window that's all podcast related stuff. And you can label the window. So like all my podcast related stuff is in one window under Tab Expert. And then, I have another one that's like my general where like all the articles that go in my email inbox that I want to read. And then I click on the link. They all go to die in this one Chrome window because I'm never going to read them, but it's super helpful. So yeah, that's my obsession. But also you guys know I like to recommend products like especially skincare related stuff, but I use CeraVe's daytime face lotion with sunscreen. It's been so windy here that like my skin is kind of chapped for winter time. I know I shouldn't be talking people who live outside of Texas. Y'all have had a yucky winter, so I really just need to let it go. But with the wind here, it's like chapping my face, and this stuff has been really helpful. So there's my product recommendation. CeraVe's daytime face lotion with sunscreen. And go.
Okay. So if we're talking about beauty,
yeah.
I love the Navy hair care line.
Ooh, what is this?
Okay. I got it from an Instagram influencer. Am I proud or embarrassed? I don't know.
I do that a lot, so no shame.
The 2 products that I'm using and loving. One is called Swell, and it's like this thickening cream. And those of you who have not seen me, because you're just hearing my voice, I should tell you that I have about 7 hairs on my head, and each one of them is very, very, very thin. So in order to look like I have a lot of hair and to keep my Texas residency and get my hair high enough off my head, I am doing a lot of chemicals and a lot of teasing.
I'm sorry. You know, in Rugrats, the doll, Angelica's doll.
Oh, yes, Cynthia.
Thank you. Oh my God. That's where my mind went when you said you had 7 hairs. Because she is just the biggest hot mess, and she's got like those 3.
Right.
Sorry.
It's
I
fine.
will be able to
It's
keep
fine.
it together, I promise.
No.
Oh, okay.
So even if I'm putting my hair in a top knot on Not Exactly News Tuesday, I am teasing my hair to put it in a top knot.
Really?
To make it look like more hair than it is.
In the bun or in the front? Oh,
in the front to give it a little lift. And then
kidding.
Also in the bun, I will like pull out other pieces, tease them, and then tuck them back in to make it a little bit bigger.
Stop.
But this Swell thickening cream, I like love how thick my hair feels and how much volume it has. I also love their product called Pebble Beach.
Okay, what's that? Like a sea salt spray? Yeah.
And so it is an aerosol one. It is not a pump.
Ooh.
And I can spray it in and then like tease a little bit at the roots and just give it some great lift, and it's not tacky. I like it a lot.
Ooh, I like that. I am a big fan of sea salt spray because I have waves and it helps to kind of give them some definition. So I'm into it. That's a good one. I'm here for it. What else? Anything else?
I also love my Theragun.
I got one for Christmas.
John's mom gave me one for Christmas.
All about it.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And I love it on my head.
That's where I use it on my neck.
I
have like neck and jaw problems and lower back issues. And on my neck, I can feel it, my brain like rattling around. And I don't like it as much, but I love it everywhere else.
Oh my gosh. I will put it on my head, and I will use the cone attachment that's like a little point and go straight down my throat on my eustachian tubes and drain my sinuses.
Drain it out.
And this is the time of year where allergies are very high in this part of the state.
Just in case you are not aware, I have been told this by multiple doctors, and there's scientific evidence out there that Austin is the national, if not international, allergy capital of the world. FYI, people, it is. You come here and your allergies will explode. I've never had allergies my whole life. I've been fine. Nope, not here. I've been here for 5.5 years now. And my doctor was like, right around, 5-7 years-ish, you'll start to feel some allergies. And I was like, nah, I'll be fine. Nope. Runny nose all season long. Cannot stop.
And they were sitting in a city council meeting and thinking, like, should we advertise this? The allergy capital of the world. And they said, I don't know about the PR. How about live music capital of the world?
God. I mean,
so some people refer to Austin as the live music capital of the world, but we all know it is
cedar fever.
Cedar fever. Exactly. And so my normal treatment for cedar fever is a spicy Cheeto.
Ooh, nice.
I love the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I will eat them and try and swallow them as close to whole as possible so that they are Caitlin just threw up in her mouth.
I gagged.
Because they will scrape your throat and then also open up your sinuses. So I've been able to not have to swallow Cheetos whole because I'm using the Theragun on my sinuses. It feels so great.
That's what I use a gua sha for, like those stones, and you just like rub your face with them.
Yeah, no, I'm using Theragun.
Okay. Well,
I'm sure it says right on the Theragun, like, do not use on your face, but I'm doing it.
We are not recommending that you do that. I saw a TikTok video of a woman who like pushed on her face with her fingers and then ended up like she drained enough of her sinuses where she had it all like in her double chin, and then she like grabbed her double chin with her hands and like massaged it off to the side and down that tube that you're talking about, and her double chin was gone. It was disgusting and it was amazing, and I was like, if that works for a double chin, I'm doing it every day. Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for one chin.
I'm okay with that as long as I don't have to
see mine. She wasn't swallowing it. It was going like down, like what you're talking about. She just grabbed it and pulled it over. It was gross.
I also love this pen. It's called Pentel Glide Right.
Let me see it.
It's like a clicky pen.
Oh yeah. Did you hear the click, guys? She clicked it.
It comes in different colors, and it's really nice to write with. And
better than Flair.
Like, I'm not into those.
You don't like Flair
pens? No, I'm not into them. I love a good ballpoint, and this one is like a quality one that you would get at a doctor's office. It's pretty nice.
Why do the best pens? Why do the best pens come from there? Also, the best chapstick comes from the dentist office. Dentist chapstick.
Yeah.
Shout out
and
to
you
my
know
dentist.
What I love? I love that Berlin wall that you can get with honey.
It's just a piece. God. You can't get the whole thing.
I mean,
and I bet it comes in a plastic box with like some cotton underneath it just to keep it safe.
All right.
Yeah, let's move on. Guys, circle time sometimes devolves.
Yeah, it's okay.
Probably every time devolves for us.
Please, anytime you let preschoolers tell a story, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll start hearing about green nipples. So there you go.
Yeah. I did see a meme the other day that said, I love that the cure for ADHD is to remember to take a pill at the same time every day.
Oh my gosh. Doesn't make any sense.
All right. So here's the plug. If you're not already doing it, get on there and rate and review us.
Aren't we so good? Don't you like us?
Right now, before I screw up the entire rules of football. Yeah. Hit that 5 stars. Just do it.
Guys, I got sad. Hold on.
And then join our Facebook group.
Oh yeah. Okay, you can do that.
Yeah. Join the Facebook group. I keep thinking of the early episodes of MFM when they're just like, so we heard some interesting things in Facebook group. They like didn't have a name for it. They're just like, Facebook group. And we're like, no, it's the Facebook group, our Facebook group. And they just called it Facebook group.
I got sad because somebody, don't know who, somebody left us a 1-star rating and then didn't write a review. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what we did. Clearly we weren't for them. If you're giving 1-star ratings to podcasts, just turn it off.
They meant to do 1 is the best. So here's how this works. It's not that's the first star, like, yes, number 1. You have to give 5 because that's the most we can get. So I know you made a mistake. Just go back on there and fix it. It shouldn't be 1 star. It's not 1. Yes, 1. You are number 1 in my heart. It's 5. That's the most I can give you.
And go to Facebook or Twitter or wherever it is and find your social media place and find us there because we're probably there. So there you go. Yeah.
Okay. So today we are going to prepare you for an adventure that is coming very, very soon. This Sunday, in fact. This Sunday at about 10:30 p.m., the most toilets will be flushed at one time.
Ew. What?
I'm just saying, when the game is over, everyone's going to go to the bathroom.
Ew, gross.
All right. So we are recording this before we know who will be in this game.
That's true.
So, and I am not going to say any team names out loud because I do not want to be in trouble for jinxing it.
There's that. Also, this might be helpful to someone else in a year. So if we're talking about teams, it won't be relevant if we do that. So we're not going to jinx, and we're going to try and maintain some relevancy here.
I feel like that should just be my life motto. Just try and maintain some relevancy. Because of the current world situation, we know that you may or may not be watching this with friends. And you, in the future, one day, might get invited to something called a Super Bowl party. This is an event where people from different households gather, eat, and watch the game together in the same space.
What?
Perhaps even indoors.
Yikes. That was a thing. We used to do stuff like that, remember?
Yep.
That's why she's explaining it, because I don't.
Okay. So in order for you to enjoy this event, it would be good for you to have some background. So last week we went over a lot of different terminology. And if you haven't listened to that episode, I encourage you to go back and listen to that first, because I'm going to be using those words in this description. And while some of them will be defined in context, it's really helpful for you to have a little bit of background knowledge before we dive in.
Sure.
So I'm going to pause for just a second while you go back and listen to that episode. Okay, and we're back. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Someday there'll be a commercial in there.
I didn't expect to laugh. I really did. I thought you were just going to roll your eyes at me. So.
No, I just sat there and waited it out.
Okay, so first off, let's give a shout out to this same dude that helped you, James Alder. And then also thefootballgirl.com, which is a collection of articles and social media posts and blah, 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 blah about football. They also have merch if you want a t-shirt.
If you decide after listening to last episode and this episode that you are in it, you like football now, go get some of their merch.
Or if you decide that you think it's funny that you don't know anything about football, but you want a t-shirt that says, I'm a football girl.
I do appreciate the irony. I'm always good for an ironic t-shirt too.
So, all right. So this is a game of sports ball. Just like any other game, it's get the ball to the thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, in all of these sports ball games, whether it be hockey or soccer or basketball or football, it's get the ball to the thing.
Yes.
A football team is made of 11 players at one time. Now, a professional football team has way more than 11 players on their roster, but they can only have 11 players on the field at once. This is why the Seattle Seahawks is home of the 12s. Well, they're called home of the 12s because A&M was the original 12th man, and we sued them when they called themselves a 12th man. But the tradition of Texas A&M comes from we yell for the team, and we are part of the team. The fans are the 12th man on the field. So there's
Nerds.
11 players on. Yeah. It's a cold. It's totally fine. It's one of those happy ones. Okay. It's 11 players on one team and 11 players on the other team. The team that's on offense or trying to score is moving in one direction. And the team that's on defense is trying to stop them.
So I want to make sure I understand. This is like you're going towards the other team's end zone. You're defending your own end zone, right?
Correct.
Your back is to your end zone all the time, and you're moving forward trying to get into the opposition team's end zone. Yes?
You have, as a team on offense, 4 chances to move the ball 10 yards.
Yep.
There are 100 yards on the field, and you do not necessarily have to start at yard 0.
Right.
For example, at the beginning of the game, the kickoff, which everybody knows what kickoff means because we have kickoff parties for this or kickoff events for that. It's the start of the game.
Right.
The kickoff, a lot of times they will start on the 20 because the ball has landed in the end zone and they're going to say, okay, I'll take it on the 20. It's called a touchback.
Touchback. You're right. Good job.
Yeah. And so most of the time, you are not starting on your own 0. You do not have to move the ball 100 yards in order to score. So you have 4 chances to move the ball 10 yards.
Okay.
Each one of those chances is called a down.
Right.
The play starts with the defense lined up facing the offense.
On the line of scrimmage.
On the line of scrimmage. Very good. The center, who is on the offensive team, will snap or throw the ball to get the play started. Typically, it's to the quarterback, but they've been doing some direct snaps right to a wide receiver or right to a running back. And at that point, the quarterback, who we said was kind of like the director of the team, is going to start a play with the goal of moving that ball 10 yards to get another first chance or first down.
Right. To start over.
To start over and get 4 more chances.
Right.
If you are successful in moving the ball 10 yards, you get a new set of downs and you get to move 10 yards again, 10 yards again. Now, do you always move 10? No. Sometimes you're lucky enough to move 80 in one play.
Right.
Sometimes you move negative.
Right.
Because your quarterback was, as we learned last week, sacked.
Mm-hmm.
Or perhaps someone who had the ball and was trying to make a running play got tackled in the backfield and now they lost yards.
Yeah.
So if you were to make the ball, let's say you moved it 6 yards on your first down. You now are on your second down and you are at 2nd and 4 yards to go. So we call it 2nd and 4.
Mm-hmm.
If you are unable to move it at all, you would be at 3rd and 4, right?
Right.
We're counting.
It does happen.
If you lost yardage, you might be at 3rd and 6.
Right.
Now, when we get to the 4th try, the 4th down, this is when the team has to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have not moved that ball 10 yards at the end of the 4th down, the other team gets the ball right where you are.
Mm-hmm.
At the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either, what we call, go for it and continue snapping the ball, giving it to the quarterback, and trying to either run or pass the ball.
You'll often see that when there's like a 4th and inches situation. So if it's
right.
4th down with like less than a yard to go, they'll call that 4th and inches. And so they will often make that attempt. However, if it's more than like 3 or 4 yards, they'll use another option.
Right. Because the deal is you don't want to accidentally turn the ball over at that spot on the field when you could punt or kick the ball way downfield.
Right.
And say, hey guys, you want to have a turn? You got to go get it. It's way over there.
Right. Exactly.
So that's when you bring out the special teams and you punt.
Right.
Okay. Now, that's basically what the offense is doing, right? They're trying to move 10 yards at a time with the ultimate goal of being get the ball into the end zone and score 6 points.
Right.
And that's called a touchdown.
Right.
You score a touchdown, you have an opportunity to score again, like bonus points.
Right.
You may either kick, and that's called a point after try, or an extra point. And then you have to kick it through the uprights like a field goal. And again, special teams. Mm-hmm. Or you can try for what we talked about last time, the 2-point conversion, where you are trying to move the ball back into the end zone through a traditional play. It can either be a pass or a run play.
Right.
Okay. So that's what the offense is doing. The defense's job is to try and stop. Try and get the ball back. Try and stop the marching of 10 yards at a time, or 20 or 80. And get the ball back for their team to switch out their players and become now the offensive team and move the ball the other direction.
Right.
Get the ball to the thing.
Exactly.
All right. So when you're looking at the field, the reason that we say we want 50-yard line tickets is because that is the middle of the field. We
Right.
count 0 to 50 and then 50 back down to 0. So when you're looking at the field, the center is 50, and then there are markers every 10 yards after that. Oh, sorry, every 5. And then there are little hash marks, little tiny white markers that help us keep track of the ball on the field, and they represent 1 yard each.
Right.
The end zone has goalposts that you have to kick the ball through. They are 10 feet high, and they are 18 feet and 6 inches wide.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. To the football girl. Did you also know that the college goalposts are wider?
It makes sense. They should be.
Right?
They're kids.
Yeah, they're kids. Okay.
Yeah.
So a football game is played in 4 15-minute quarters, but you don't play 15 minutes nonstop. Anytime that the play stops, the clock, that's not true. Most of the time when the play stops, the clock stops.
This is why that Yo Mama joke of like, your mom is so stupid it takes her like 3 hours to watch 60 minutes.
Right.
That she could have been watching a football game.
She could have been watching a football game.
Yeah. It doesn't really work.
Yeah. This is why I said at 10:30 on Sunday night, the toilets will flush. Because even if kickoff is 7 p.m., it takes a long time to play an hour of football.
Yes, it does. And there's commercials. Those
there are commercials. And that's, everybody knows about this. That's
what you're here for. Let's be clear.
Commercial, right?
All right. Betty White was in a Super Bowl commercial. Remember that? When Betty White did the Doritos commercial?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I got sad again. Moving on.
Okay. Yeah. After the first and second quarter, we have halftime, and halftime is a break that's long enough for the players to actually go into the locker room, re-strategize,
get water, regroup,
get water, and come back out.
Yeah.
When you're on offense and it is time for you to start a play, remember we talked about some penalties last week. One of the ones that you can have is a delay of game. You actually have 40 seconds to get your play off the ground.
Oh, I thought it was only 25. Okay, 40. Good to know.
So if you do not get your play moving in the time, then you will receive a penalty.
For too much time.
So a lot of times you will hear the phrase RPO. And this stands for run, pass, option, which I like to make the joke that that's every single play in football.
Pretty much.
Like you always have the option to run
or pass. Right.
There's lots of different types of passes. There's lots of different types of runs. That's not something that you need to know about in order to enjoy the game.
Right.
You can know that the quarterback is going to talk to the team, talk to his leadership, and decide on a play, and then tell his team, okay, here's what we're going to do with the ball.
Right.
The center will snap the ball to him. The clock will start. Get the ball to the thing. Obviously, the object of the game is to get the most points. So we said that you can get 6 points for a touchdown, 2 points for a point conversion. Duh, it's in the name. Or you can get 1 point for the point after try or the kick, the extra point.
Right.
Now, there, like you said last week, there are other ways to score. If, for example, you have run out of downs and it's your fourth down, your fourth chance to move the ball 10 yards, and you don't think you're going to, but you are close enough to the uprights, you can kick the ball through the uprights for a field goal, and that's worth 3 points. And that will also give the ball to the other team with a kickoff. So you don't have to worry about where they're going to get the ball. And then the only way that the defense can score points is by having a safety. And that means that you are on defense, but you were able to stop the other team with the ball in their own end zone. So they are 100 yards away from scoring, and you just kind of rub salt in their wounds.
That's a good way to explain it. If you get a safety, again, it's rare, but it's also like clearly someone somewhere messed up. It's an accident. Like it's not a thing that's supposed to be happening. If you're 100 yards away from your own like from scoring and then you get tackled in your own end zone, like that's rough. That's a ouchie kind of play.
Yeah. Now, we talked a lot about different penalties and things that can happen on the field.
Mm-hmm.
An interception is just what it sounds like.
Right. I don't think I went into that. Right.
No.
I don't think
But the
I could
ball
find
is
that one.
intercepted by a defenseman who was not the intended receiver of the other team.
Right.
So he catches the ball. There's something special called a pick six. This means that the ball was picked off or intercepted and then run back to the end zone for 6 points. So the defense scored an offensive play by catching an interception and then running the ball all the way back and scoring as a touchdown.
Right, in the opposite direction. And if that happens after the pick six, they also get to decide if they're going to kick a field goal, right? Or kick that for the extra point. They still get to make, yeah, they get to make that decision. And then
it counts as any other touchdown. So you can have the point after try, the extra point kick, or you can do a 2-point conversion.
And then the ball will go right back to the offense for that, there'll
be a kickoff that
got picked off, right? To the team that got picked off. So then they will be able to try again.
Yes.
But it's often demoralizing. Did we talk about what a drive was last time? I don't think we did.
So this is just like driving a car, right? It's going a distance.
Right.
And so the drive is your turn on offense and with your downs. And so remember that if you manage to move the ball 10 yards, you get a new set of downs. That's still part of your drive. You're still holding on to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
When you are watching a ball game, and you are trying to figure out what's going on, pay close attention to the score graphic that they are showing you on the screen, because it will underline or highlight the team that's playing offense. So you can see they have the ball. It will highlight for you how many timeouts they have left in the game. And timeouts for medical reasons don't count against your team. Right. But if you want to take a timeout to strategize, then that counts against you. You get 3 per half. The other things that you'll see in the graphic is what down they're on and how many more yards they have to go to hit the 10. And remember, the number might be more than 10.
Right.
I have seen 3rd and 28, right? There are times where they've got a lot more than 10 to go because their quarterback was sacked or they fumbled the ball and were able to recover it, but they lost 18 yards while doing that.
Oh, ouch.
So it'll tell you what down they're on, how many yards they have to do to get a new set of downs. It will tell you what quarter of the game you're in and how much time is left in that 15-minute quarter. Sometimes it will even give you statistics on how many yards they've gained in the whole game, how many passes they've thrown or how many yards they've thrown for. But the little score graphic that is pretty much on the screen the entire time is a great tool for catching back up and say, okay, team A is on offense. It's 3rd and 4. So they're going to try and go for it. And we'll see if they are able to convert that 3rd down into a 1st down, or if it is now a 4th down, and 4th and 4, you're going to kick.
Right. And you'll hear the term 3rd down conversion. And that just means that the team that's on offense was able to get a new set of downs and they're trying again. So that's, if you hear that, just be aware of what that is. The other thing I like on the screen that I feel like is really helpful when I'm understanding, okay, the team has 4 tries to move the ball 10 yards. On the screen, they will project a lot of the times where 1st down is located on the field. So you can actually see, okay, here's the line of scrimmage. It's the line that's in between the players on either side. And they're trying to go to this nice little yellow line that's cutting off this guy's leg or whatever it is. It helps a lot for people who understand enough about the game but can't actually see it. And a lot of the times the chains are not necessarily visible by people who are watching at home. So that's another reason to kind of take a peek at what they're displaying on the screen, because they are doing it to help you, and it actually is helpful.
And so if they were to cross that line, wherever that player is called down, which means that they either fell or they were tackled or they dropped
with
the ball. With the ball. That's where the new line of scrimmage will be. They will set the chains there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that phrase, move the chains. They got a new first down. So that 10-yard chain measuring tool is now going to have a new beginning.
So here was something that was a question of mine when I first started watching. But let's say that a quarterback throws a pass and the pass is 26 yards and not 10 yards. The team then doesn't have to move the chains only 10 yards.
That's correct. They get credit for the full 26.
Right. They get credit for the entire distance that pass was thrown and caught for.
Correct.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah. But that doesn't count against their next set. They still have to move 10.
Right.
They reset.
Right. It's not like they get, it's not like you get first and exactly. First and only 4. No, it's first it's always, and 10.
Now there are a couple of times where you might see first and 5 because there was a penalty.
Right.
And
so another team, the defense maybe got
they get to replay their first down with a bonus of 5 yards.
Right.
And one of the great things about football is when there is a penalty, the referee announces exactly what the penalty is.
Right.
What the offense was and what the penalty will be.
Right. And you might see like that penalty is declined or whatever. What that typically means is that the refs have radioed in what the penalty is going to be, and there's an option for which penalty you can take. You can either take yardage or a loss of down or whatever. And so they will like sort of allow you to like make some choices. Again, that's more intermediate stuff. You don't need to worry about it. But if you hear that penalty,
I have a funny story about that because my mom was like, how can you decline a penalty?
Right.
Like,
you're not allowed to do that.
No. You are the team who was offended. Okay?
Right.
Let's say they were calling for pass interference.
Right. Your player got interfered with.
Right. And you could say, well, but he caught the ball and I want it to count.
Right.
So you could decline the penalty and say, I don't agree with that. I want this play to count.
Right. So if you are the offending team, you can't decline.
You don't get to decline your penalty.
But if you are just the one who is offended, then you get to decline it. Right.
I don't get to decline a speeding ticket.
Right.
But if the cop pulls me over and sees my child is covered in vomit, he can decline giving it to me.
Right. Exactly. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Vomit. Oh, I've been there, but I haven't been pulled over with it. But I think we've all had barf in the car.
Right? I had it this morning. Oh, it's the worst.
The worst. There is nothing worse than barf in the car.
And not only is he throwing, I mean, Kit did really well because he threw up on a blanket.
Bless.
So it's like, it's caught in the blanket.
Oh,
but as he is throwing up, the low gas light goes on. Oh! And I'm like, I cannot deal with all of these things at one time.
Nope. Overwhelmed.
No.
Instant tears.
I cannot be running out of gas and dealing with a kid that's throwing up.
No. No.
So we went to a gas station to clean him up.
Well, see, you just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Amazing. Did you actually get gas while you were there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I told him, I'm going to pump gas. Here's some baby wipes. Start wiping yourself down.
Poor kid. He's 3. You're old enough to clean up your own barf. Deal with it.
I mean, he did. So, again, he did a really great job keeping it on the blanket. It was pretty nice.
What were we talking about?
Football.
Yeah. Football.
Some other things that you need to know about this big game. It is the result of a series of playoff games.
Yes.
Yeah. So football does have several rounds of playoffs to get to the big game, the Superb Owl.
Yeah.
The game floats stadium to stadium, not based on who is in the game.
Right. It won't be played in the location of one of the home teams.
So when we talked about the World Series, we said, hey, you know, the World Series is played at the 2 team stadiums, flipping back and forth.
Right.
The Super Bowl doesn't do that. Remember that there is a buffalo wing shortage. So don't be surprised if your order is too expensive.
Are we still in a chicken wing shortage right now?
Yes. I just went to the grocery store earlier this week and they still had a sign up limit 2 per customer.
No.
So my birthday was January the 9th, which, you know, RIP Bob Saget, which was a Sunday this year. And I love my birthday. I love my birthday. There are two kinds of birthday people. There are the kind who are like, don't even tell me, don't sing to me, I don't want to be embarrassed. And then the people like me who have their students stand up and say compliments about them and then go to the cafeteria during lunch and have everyone sing me happy birthday.
Right. But I want to be clear that I learned about Jenny's birthday a week in advance. Why? Because Jenny wears a tiara in school the whole week for her birthday. She was wearing this tiara the whole week. And I was like, oh, it's your birthday today? And it was your happy birthday tiara because it's the one that says happy birthday and like rhinestones across. Yes. Yeah. So I was like, oh, is it your birthday? And you're like, no, it's in a few days. Oh, okay. It was like on a Wednesday or something, and you were wearing it on a Monday. So Jenny loves her birthday and wears a tiara.
I do.
Okay.
And I am a firm believer that it is your responsibility to tell me about your birthday. And it is my responsibility to tell you about mine. I do not need you to remember my birthday. I will tell you when it's coming. But also, I do not want you to be offended if I forget about yours and you didn't tell me it was coming.
Right.
Tell me it's coming.
I know when your birthday is. I have it on my calendar. I like plan it. Like I know. And then this year I got a message saying, hey, Sunday is my birthday and I want to do this. And I was like, yes, I know.
I wanted to go for a hike. And then the weather got really cold and nasty and wet and we couldn't do it.
We couldn't go.
I owe you one hike. Anyway, so my birthday was on a Sunday. I wanted to celebrate at school, so I wore it on Monday. I got a flat tire on the way to work. I would like to say I ran over something in the road. It was the curb, so it wasn't exactly in the road.
Jenny is also not the best driver.
No, I'm a terrible driver. It's totally fine. And even when I'm at the tire place wearing a tiara, and that's when I texted her, I am the only person at Discount Tire wearing a tiara. The guy was like, were you trying to pop this tire?
Oh no. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Wait, so and he said to me, can I ask about the tiara? Hold on. Back up. Did you drive on a flat too?
No. I changed it and then brought the tire to the tire place.
You changed it by yourself?
No, I changed it with AAA.
Oh, I was like, get it, girl. I know please. Pam Beasley does it, but that doesn't mean I've ever done it and tried it.
No, so. I was driving to work in the dark. I wasn't going to change my tire in the dark.
Yeah, no. Okay.
No, I haven't changed a tire myself since high school anyway.
Boy, never.
No, AAA.
I've never done it. Okay, go for it.
So, I go to the tire place, and he's like, "Okay, I have to ask you about the tiara." And I was like, "It's my birthday," and he said, "Oh, happy birthday."
So, like, my thought was, did this happen at the gas station? But no, it happened at Discount Tire.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like you need to have an everyday tiara. There is a TikTok creator who regularly wears a tiara, and she has so many because people just send them to her now, and she wears a different one every time.
That's cool. Yeah,
it is kind of cool.
The one I wore this year, because I do have the one that says happy birthday. I have one that is a trio of Eiffel Towers with roses.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
Yes, I have some that are like a little bit more shallow that could almost be called a headband. But the one that I purchased specifically for this birthday is a replica of the Lover's Knot Spencer tiara that Diana has been seen wearing, and also Kate has worn several times. It's the one with the dangling pearls.
Yeah. Jenny, also, we're learning all kinds of things. Jenny loves her birthday. Jenny will tell you about her birthday. Jenny loves tiaras. Jenny loves Princess Diana.
So much so that I named my kid after her.
Oh, man. I love it. Well, okay. Do we have anything else about football we need to talk about? I feel like we did a good football 101 sort of rundown here.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Tweet at us about your favorite snack to eat during the football game.
Yes. Great idea.
And also give us 5-star ratings.
And also use your gift cards.
Make good choices.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.